Hey there, Ruth Haven Grounds family. Let me start with a confession that might surprise you. For years, I walked past those piles of soggy autumn leaves in the corner of my garden, thinking they were just decomposing waste waiting to be hauled away. I had no idea I was literally stepping over one of nature's most powerful soil amendments. If you've been sleeping on leaf mold like I was, buckle up because what I'm about to share will completely transform how you think about those fallen leaves. Here's where most gardeners get tripped up, and honestly, I don't blame them. When you hear mold, your brain probably jumps to that fuzzy green stuff on forgotten leftovers, or those scary black patches in damp corners. But leaf mold? It's an entirely different beast, and the name doesn't do it justice. Leaf mold is simply decomposed leaves that have broken down over time through fungal activity, not bacterial decomposition like traditional compost. This is the crucial distinction that changes everything. While your hot compost pile is cooking away with bacteria breaking down a diverse mix of materials, leaf mold happens slowly and coolly, with fungi doing the heavy lifting on nothing but leaves. The result is a dark, crumbly, earthy-smelling material that looks almost like soil itself. I remember the first time I actually examined mature leaf mold up close. I squeezed a handful, and it felt like the most luxurious growing medium imaginable, light yet substantial, and when I let it go, it practically floated back into the pile. That's when it clicked for me that this wasn't just decayed leaves, but something truly special for our gardens. Let's talk about what leaf mold actually does for your garden, because this is where things get exciting. Unlike compost, which is fantastic for adding nutrients, leaf mold is the ultimate soil conditioner. Think of compost as a multivitamin for your plants, while leaf mold is more like a personal trainer for your soil structure. The magic happens at a microscopic level. As those leaves break down through fungal decomposition, they create this incredible sponge-like structure that can hold up to 500% of its weight in water. Yes, you read that right, 500%. When I first learned this, I literally went back and checked multiple sources because it seemed impossible. But it's true, and it explains why gardens amended with leaf mold stay consistently moist without becoming waterlogged. Beyond moisture retention, leaf mold improves soil structure in ways that feel almost magical when you experience them firsthand. It creates air pockets in heavy clay soils, giving roots room to breathe and expand. In sandy soils, it acts as a binder, helping those loose particles hold together and retain both moisture and nutrients. I've used it in both my clay-heavy vegetable beds and my sandy rose garden, and the transformation in both was remarkable within just one growing season. Here's something else that doesn't get enough attention. Leaf mold creates an ideal environment for beneficial soil organisms. Those fungal networks that created the leaf mold in the first place continue thriving in your soil, forming relationships with plant roots that help them access nutrients and water more efficiently. You're not just adding organic matter, but establishing an entire underground support system for your plants. Now, I know what some of you are thinking because honestly, I thought the same thing. This sounds complicated, right? Maybe you need special equipment or perfect conditions? Friends, making leaf mold is possibly the easiest gardening project you'll ever undertake. In fact, the less you do, the better it works. The basic method is almost laughably simple. You just collect your fall leaves and pile them somewhere in your yard. Wet them down thoroughly. Wait. That's it. Seriously. Unlike composting, where you're monitoring temperatures, turning regularly, and balancing green and brown materials, leaf mold asks for almost nothing from you. Mother Nature handles the rest through fungal decomposition, which happens naturally when leaves are moist and piled together. I use black plastic bags for my leaf mold production, and honestly, this method has never let me down. After raking leaves in autumn, I stuff them into contractor-grade black garbage bags, add water with the hose until everything is thoroughly moistened, poke a few holes in the bags for air circulation, tie them up, and toss them behind my shed. Then I literally forget about them for a year or two. The black bags heat up slightly in the sun, which speeds things along, But even without that boost, you'll have usable leaf mold in 12 to 18 months and premium stuff in 2 years. For those of you with more space, you can create a simple wire mesh cylinder or wooden bin. Fill it with shredded leaves if you want faster decomposition. Keep them moist and let time work its magic. Shredding leaves by running over them with a lawnmower can cut your wait time in half, producing usable leaf mold in as little as 6 months. But honestly, even if you don't shred them, the wait is absolutely worth it. The key factor nobody talks about enough is moisture. Leaf mold only happens when leaves stay consistently damp, not soaking wet, but definitely not dry. In my early attempts, I made the mistake of checking the bags after 6 months, finding them bone dry inside, and wondering why nothing had happened. Once I got more aggressive with initial watering and chose a shadier spot for my bags, everything changed. Those fungi need moisture to do their work. Once you've got your finished leaf mold, the question becomes how to actually use it. And this is where you can get creative based on your garden's specific needs. My favorite application is as a mulch around perennials, shrubs, and trees. So, I spread a 2 to 3 inch layer around my plants each spring, making sure to keep it just a little bit away from the stems and trunks. This mulch, honestly, does a lot. It suppresses weeds, helps regulate soil temperature, and slowly keeps breaking down to improve the soil underneath. For vegetable gardens, I like to work leaf mold directly into the top 6 inches of soil before I start planting. The difference it makes in water retention during those hot summer months is, well, genuinely impressive. My tomatoes and peppers, which used to wilt by mid-afternoon on hot days, even with regular watering, now stay perky and productive because that leaf mold is holding moisture right where their roots can reach it. Potting mixes get a major upgrade with leaf mold too. I've started mixing it into my container soil at about 20 to 30% by volume, and honestly, my container plants have never looked better. The improved moisture retention means I don't have to water as often, which is a real lifesaver during those busy summer weeks when I might not get to my containers every single day. One application I discovered by accident but now swear by is using partially decomposed leaf mold, the stuff that's been breaking down for maybe 6 to 9 months, as a seed starting medium mixed with peat moss or coir. It's gentle enough for delicate seedlings, but provides that fungal inoculation that helps young roots establish strong connections with beneficial soil organisms from day one. Here's what I want you to do right now. Yes, right now. Go look at how you're currently handling fall leaves in your garden. Are you bagging them for municipal pickup, blowing them into the woods? Just start one bag, one pile, one simple bin of leaf mold this year. Mark your calendar for next autumn to check your results, and I promise you'll be hooked. This isn't complicated science or advanced gardening technique. It's simply working with natural processes that have been enriching forest floors for millions of years. The leaves are free, the method is nearly effortless, and honestly, the results speak for themselves in healthier plants, better soil structure, and reduced watering needs. If this article has opened your eyes to the incredible potential of leaf mold like it did for me when I finally understood what I was missing, do me a favor. Subscribe to Roothaven Grounds so you never miss our deep dives into game-changing garden techniques like this one. Share this with your gardening friends who are still sending their leaves to the landfill, not realizing they're throwing away liquid gold for their soil. And drop a comment telling me about your own experiences with leaf mold or what questions you still have. Let's grow better gardens together, one pile of leaves at a time.